Wow, this video is going to be a challenging one. The title of it, and it's the video for August 14th, 2017. The title again is Let the Real Jews Simply Love Humanity. Wow, I had a long-time friend rail at me yesterday and unfriended me on Facebook. She was not the only one of my Jewish friends who have falsely perceived that I am somehow a Jew hater. Nothing could be further from the truth. I am a humanity lover. Since my early years, I have worked to build bridges. My message focus has long emphasized that we must learn to love one another. I don't understand how that is missed and why people take offense when I talk about the Rothschilds and other fake Jews who make up the cabal, which to me is demonic, not human in nature. They want to kill most of the world's people, reducing the world's population down to 500 million. And the so-called Holocaust is not what has been portrayed in cabal-controlled media and revisionist history. This becomes obvious to those who take time to think outside their box. Anyway, I wish we could all simply love humanity. Yes, it certainly is a challenge, and I was very saddened by my friend's comments, who no longer lives here in Florida, has moved to another state. I didn't know that until I went to her Facebook page, and yes, she had unfriended me very quickly, as she said she was going to do, but she did at least give me a heads up and make a comment to make me aware of it. And other of my friends have made comments on YouTube and stuff like that on my videos with the same perception that I am somehow hating Jewish people. And look, folks, if you understood where I've come from at all, if you've comprehended, I have, in my very early years, I built bridges in the Christian denominations, that many of which were trying to say we're the only ones that are right. I went out of my way to attend other groups and other churches from my early 20s. I was actively involved in that, and even as a teenager, I was building friendships with people that had other spiritual viewpoints. One of my friends was a Herbert W. Armstrong follower, and of course I subscribed to the Plain Truth magazine and read a lot of that literature. And then as I got older, I again branched out into other denominations, and then as I got a little bit older still, I started building bridges to Hindus and Buddhists and Muslims, much to the chagrin of many of my so-called New Age friends that didn't like that bought into the propaganda of the Muslims are the problem. And maybe what I'm doing is the propaganda of the fake Jews are the problem, because the Rothschilds are not Jewish, but yet they would claim to be Jewish, and they claim that anything that goes against Israel is anti-Semitism, and the Ashkenazi Jews are not Semites. And people have pointed out to me that the Ethiopians are the real Jews, that the real Jews are black-skinned people, if I'm understanding correctly. And again, it's not about race. And I was even for a time part of a Messianic Jewish congregation. And I stopped when the rabbi, refused to allow open discussion in a discussion group, didn't want to allow open discussion about the issues of Ashkenazis and stuff like that. They didn't want that brought into the conversation. And, I have tried to explore. I think outside the box. I want a world that works for all people. And I want us to stop fighting over which religion is right. All of them have elements of truth, and yet all of them also have elements that are used to create the illusion that one is better than the other. We are not better. I mean, Negroes are not better than whites, or vice versa, or Orientals, or Native Americans, or whatever we want to label ourselves. That is not the issue. We are all human beings, regardless of what race we are, regardless of what part of the world we come from, regardless of what religions we have espoused, regardless of all the things that have been used to divide us and to keep us from loving one another. We still are all cut from a similar fabric that we call human. And it's humanity that if we are to survive as a human race, we have to stop fighting each other. We have to stop allowing any faction to claim dominance and to claim that they alone have the right to live. And we've got to stop the brainwashing and the mechanization, the at least mental mechanization of our human thought patterns. We've got to stop the game plan to get us to think only in a certain way and never think outside the box, never expand our boundaries, so that we are able to actually love. And when I say love one another, I think we need to love all life, because we're all part of that fabric, whether we want to admit it or not. We're all living beings, and animals and plants, and even the earth itself, even the minerals have life. I mean, I don't completely understand that with my natural mind, but yet I think everything is ultimately divine. Everything comes out of one creation, one big bang, if you will. And it's all interconnected. There's a pattern that weaves through the whole thing. And the thing which allows us to stop the nonsense is to love. Native Americans, when they kill an animal, they reverence the animal. And we need to even reverence the plants and stuff. We've lost that. I've lost it. And we need to understand how far we've been descending into the abyss of unawareness and of unconsciousness. We need to become conscious of ourselves and our connections to life. And life doesn't have labels. It's just living. It's just part of the fabric of creation, the fabric of our existence. Why does it have to be so hard for us to get it through our heads? Yes, we've been brainwashed. Yes, we've been manipulated by a controlling so-called elite, but they are human too. And I want them to wake up as well. I want all of us to simply come back to the basics. And the basics always comes with we are life and we are love. And let's learn to laugh together. Life, love, and laughter, the three L's that I've emphasized in many of my videos over the years. We'll never get to the place of laughter until we first get to the place of recognizing that all life is one and love each other. Then, when we look back, when we allow ourselves to begin to heal from the inside out, we'll look back and we'll laugh at our insanity of division and the insanity of thinking that one group or one idea is superior to the others. Only love itself is superior, not any religion, not any nationality, not any race. Thank you for listening, and namaste.